My boyfriend told me, "You're lucky I'm still here. No one else wants you." So I paid for his dream vacation and canceled it mid-flight. Guess who landed in Bali with no hotel and no money? I was staring at the plane ticket confirmation when he walked in and said it, "You're lucky I'm still here. No one else wants you." Like he was doing me a favor by existing in the same room. Like I hadn't just spent $4,300 booking his dream Bali trip. Like I wasn't the one working overtime, juggling bills, holding the relationship together with duct tape and self-delusion. Kyle, 33, male, my boyfriend of 3 years, was everything I used to think I wanted. Tall, charismatic, always the center of attention. He made friends everywhere. The bartender, the Uber driver, my own mother. But his charm was the kind that wears like cologne, strong and sweet at first, then cloying, then sour once it soaks into your skin. He hadn't always been like this, or maybe I just hadn't seen it. When we met, I was fresh off a divorce, emotionally raw, not even looking to date. He said all the right things, called me brilliant, the most emotionally aware person I've ever met, told me I made him want to be better. We moved in together after 10 months. He was between jobs, but said he'd pick up freelance work soon. He never really did. I didn't mind at first. I had a stable income. He cooked sometimes, kept the apartment clean. But over time, his helpfulness became laziness, then entitlement. Then came the gaslighting. If I brought up feeling overwhelmed, he'd smirk and say, "God, do you ever stop complaining?" If I asked about rent, he'd sigh dramatically, "You act like I don't contribute anything," while doing nothing. He started joking in public about how clingy I was, how I couldn't keep a man before him, how lucky I was that he stayed. People laughed. I laughed. But each time it cut deeper. I thought things would change if I just gave more, did more. He loved talking about Bali. "One day, babe, when I'm rich." So I started saving, quietly. Every bonus, every freelance gig I could squeeze on the side. I did it because I loved him, or because I wanted to believe he loved me. When I showed him the surprise, round-trip tickets, oceanfront villa, couples massage, his eyes lit up. For 1 second, I saw the old Kyle, the one I fell for. He kissed me like I was magic. That lasted exactly 3 days. By the time we were packing, he was sulking over luggage weight limits, snapping at me for forgetting sunscreen, making jokes about how I'd probably get left behind because I'm not exactly bikini model material. Then, in the airport lounge, after I asked him not to drink too much before the flight, he turned to me and said it, loudly, casually, "You're lucky I'm still here. No one else wants you." I didn't react, just stared at him, at his smug face, at the man I'd spent 3 years defending to my friends, at the guy I'd just spent thousands to make smile. And something broke, not loudly, quietly, like a single tile cracking in the foundation. You don't notice it until the whole house shifts beneath you. I smiled. I actually smiled and said, "You're right, I am lucky." But in my head, I was already planning. Because Kyle's dream vacation, it was under my name, my card, my email. He hadn't lifted a finger to book it, which meant I controlled the confirmations, the reservations, the hotel, the spa days, the car service. And guess what? I had a long layover planned. 12 hours in Singapore before we landed in Bali. 12 beautiful, vengeful hours. We touched down in Singapore just after midnight. Kyle was cranky from the flight, pissed that the in-flight Wi-Fi wasn't fast enough for whatever Reddit thread he was arguing on. He made some snide comment about how I looked extra puffy after sleeping. I ignored him. I was counting down the hours. See, the hotel in Bali was under a flexible cancellation. I paid extra for that. Why? Because I'm a planner. Because I thought maybe the weather would shift, or something might go wrong and we'd want backup options. Funny how that instinct came back around, huh? While he was off finding a smoking area outside the terminal, I logged into the hotel portal, canceled our 5-night stay at the beachfront villa, the one with the private pool, the flower petal bath on arrival, the champagne breakfast. Gone. Refund coming back to my card in 7 to 10 business days. Then I opened the note section of my phone and wrote, "Guest no longer traveling with partner. Please remove additional name from all reservations. No authorization to charge him." Sent it directly to the front desk email with the confirmation number attached. Polite, professional, absolutely devastating. He came back from his smoke break grumbling about humidity and said, "God, Bali better be worth it." I smiled. "Oh, it will be." In the lounge, while he stuffed himself with free pastries and played poker on his phone, I made a few more moves. Canceled the couple's massage, the snorkeling excursion, the prepaid dinner cruise, the airport pickup. Every little romantic surprise I'd planned. He didn't notice. He never noticed anything unless it directly affected him. Once we boarded the second flight, the final leg to Bali, he passed out immediately, snoring like a buzzsaw while I sat upright, eyes wide, watching the sky turn light over the ocean. The second we landed, things started to unravel. First, the driver wasn't there. Kyle stood there confused, then annoyed, then full-on ranting. "This is so unprofessional," he snapped, pacing in front of the arrivals curb. "You sure you booked it right?" I faked concern. "Let me check," pulled out my phone, pretended to call someone, nodded sympathetically. "Looks like they had a mix-up. I'll get us a cab." We took a local taxi to the hotel. 30 minutes in silence, him brooding like a man-child denied his happy meal. When we pulled up to the resort, the one I picked because he'd bookmarked it a year ago, he looked at it like it was a shrine. "Oh, hell yes," he grinned. "Now we're talking. You really came through, babe." I stayed quiet as we walked to the reception. He stepped up to the counter, confident as hell, and said, "Kyle Matthews, honeymoon suite." The clerk blinked, typed, frowned. "I'm sorry, sir. I don't have a reservation under that name." I stepped in, smiled sweetly. "It's under my name, but actually, I won't be checking in. Just him." The clerk looked between us, confused. Kyle turned, eyes narrowing. "What the hell does that mean?" "I canceled it," I said calmly. "You're on your own." The moment froze. He didn't speak, just blinked at me like I'd smacked him. Then, "You're joking." "Nope. Where's your stuff?" "Not here." That's when it hit him. I wasn't checking in, I wasn't staying, I wasn't even in Bali anymore. I pulled out my passport and boarding pass. "I'm flying back through Jakarta tonight. Thought I'd let you enjoy your dream vacation alone, since no one else wants me, right?" He lost it, right there in the middle of the lobby. Swearing, pacing, waving his arms. "You selfish bitch, you think this is funny?" "No," I said. "I think it's long overdue." I turned and walked out, leaving him standing there. No hotel, no reservations, no money, no clue what to do next. And yeah, I blocked him. Mid-tantrum. I was halfway through airport security when my phone started vibrating like a dying animal. Text after text. All from Kyle. "Where TF are you? You psycho! Get back here right now. I'm stranded in another country because you're bitter. Hope you feel good about screwing over the only person who ever gave you a chance." That one made me laugh. Gave me a chance? Kyle was living in my apartment, spending my money, eating my groceries, using my Netflix, and suddenly he's the one who did me a favor? Nah. I muted the thread. Didn't block him yet. I wanted to see just how far he'd spiral. I had a layover in Jakarta, and the second I sat down in that grim little terminal lounge with cold coffee and plastic chairs, I checked his socials. Bingo. First came the vague posts on his story. "Some people will stab you in the back and smile while they do it. Ladies, be careful who you trust. Mine just left me to die in Bali, lol." Imagine spending thousands for someone just to get ghosted. Then came the main post. A shirtless selfie in the hotel lobby, trying to look unfazed with the caption, "Solo trip now. Fiaction, fake love." Fake love. From the guy who once screamed at me for buying the wrong kind of peanut butter. From the guy who called my job cute and told me I only got promoted because my boss felt bad for me. From the man who once asked, dead serious, "Do you really think you could do better than me?" The comments started rolling in fast, mostly pity from his clueless friends. "Damn bro, that's cold. She really left you. What kind of evil woman does that? Come back to LA, man. We'll hit the bars." But one comment stuck out. From his ex, Sabrina. "Some things never change. Glad I dodged that bullet." I nearly choked on my coffee. Sabrina was the one he used to talk so much shit about. Said she was crazy, possessive, and emotionally unstable. Now she's dropping in from the shadows with receipts? Oh, I was living. I clicked through her profile. Public, thank God. She'd posted a throwback photo from 2019. A birthday dinner with Kyle, complete with caption, "Back before I realized I was dating a narcissist. Lesson learned. Pattern recognized." It hit me then. I wasn't the first. I was just the latest. The newest sucker in a long line of women he made feel small until they either broke or snapped. I snapped. And now he was stuck 8,000 miles from home with no place to stay, no backup plan, and no one to blame but himself. Except that's not how Kyle works. When narcissists fall, they don't look inward. They go scorched earth. By the time I landed back home, my phone was full of new numbers, unknown calls, voicemails, DMS from burner accounts. His sister texted me, "What happened? Kyle says you abandoned him? That's dangerous, you know. Dangerous." He made me sound like the villain. I took a deep breath, texted her back. "Ask him why I canceled the hotel. He'll know." No reply. But I knew she saw it. Then, at 2:36 a.m., I got the one that made my blood turn to ice. A video message. Kyle, red-eyed and rambling, sitting on the curb outside some Bali bar. "You want to leave me here like trash? Fine, but you're gonna regret it when I get back. You think this is over? You think this is funny? People like you get what's coming." He was spiraling, and I knew him well enough to know he wasn't just going to let this go. The first thing I did when I got home was change the locks. Kyle still had a key. Of course he did. And I wasn't about to sit around wondering if he'd sneak in during the night, high on rage and vodka Red Bulls, ready to talk it out like he used to do. cornering me in the kitchen until I apologized for upsetting him. I left his things in 2 garbage bags outside the door, not even in suitcases, just like the respect he'd shown me, cheap and crumpled. Inside, it felt eerily still. I hadn't realized how much space he took up until he wasn't in it anymore. No beard trimmings in the sink, no dirty socks on the floor, no half-finished protein shake cups stinking up the fridge, just peace. That lasted maybe 3 days. He landed back in the States and went feral. First came the texts. Angry, erratic, barely coherent. You fucking psycho. You left me homeless in a foreign country. Do you even know how dangerous that was? You stole from me. I'm calling the cops. This was premeditated abuse. I blocked him. So he started hitting up my friends. Erica, my best friend since college, sent me a screenshot. You should know your girl's mentally unstable. She pulled some borderline illegal shit. If anything happens to me, that's on her. He was playing the abuse card now. Another message went to my boss. Yes, my literal boss. Just thought HR should know the kind of person you're promoting. It was a fake email under the name Concerned Coworker, claiming I was emotionally volatile and had taken mental health leave under false pretenses. Luckily, my boss knew the real me. She forwarded it and said, "Do you need a lawyer or a wine night?" I chose both. Then he escalated. Again, I got home from work one night to find the 2 garbage bags I'd left on the porch slashed open. Clothes everywhere. His old hoodie nailed to my front door. Literally nailed, like some kind of threat. On the back, written in Sharpie, "Hope you're happy now." My neighbors saw him. Said Kyle showed up around 3 p.m., stood outside for almost 20 minutes just staring at the door before going full discount horror movie. He kicked the porch railing, screamed something about betrayal, then peeled out in his car like a lunatic. I filed a police report. Nothing serious happened, so it didn't go far. But I wanted it on record. The next morning, I got a message from Sabrina, his ex. She'd seen his Bali posts and heard the fallout through mutuals. "You're not crazy," she wrote. "He did the same to me. Public meltdowns, smear campaigns, then played the victim. You're not alone." That cracked something open in me. Because for months, maybe years, I'd felt like I was the unstable one. Like maybe I was too emotional, too controlling, too whatever he needed me to be to justify treating me like garbage. But I wasn't the problem. He was a pattern. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, voicemails, photos of the vandalism. Not because I was scared, not yet, but because men like Kyle don't fade quietly. They come back louder, uglier. And I knew something was coming. I just didn't expect it to be so public. Update 1. First off, hi Reddit. I did not expect this story to get so much traction. I posted thinking a few strangers might get a laugh out of it, or maybe someone would relate. Instead, I came back to 9,000 comments, 500 DMs, and my story trending on TikTok under Bali Revenge. And yes, I've seen the memes. Y'all are ruthless. Top 3 highlights. Whoever photoshopped Kyle's face onto Home Alone, screaming at the Bali airport. Chef's kiss. The comment that said, "She didn't cancel the vacation. She canceled his whole personality. This is why you don't bite the hand that books the resort." Iconic. But for real, thank you. Reading through the comments made me laugh, cry, and weirdly grieve. A lot of you said I was too kind, too patient. And yeah, I think I needed strangers to tell me that. Because when you're in it, you don't realize how deep the manipulation goes until someone else holds up the mirror. So, here's what's happened since I posted. 1. Kyle found the post. Of course he did. Someone apparently recognized the hotel name or the captions from his Bali meltdown posts and sent it to him. He messaged me from another burner account, his 5th, I think, with a simple, "Nice, you made me internet famous. Hope you enjoy your 15 minutes, bitch." So, I printed that one out for my folder, because if he ever tries legal action or shows up again, I want everything documented. Y'all weren't wrong to suggest a restraining order. 2. His sister apologized. This one shocked me. She called me, with actual remorse in her voice, and said, "I didn't realize how bad it was until I saw it laid out like that. We always thought Kyle just dated dramatic women. Turns out he creates the drama. Girl, I could have told you that in 2019. 3. His job found out. Apparently someone from Reddit, or maybe from his own circle, sent his public meltdown posts to his employer. I won't get into too many details, but let's just say he's no longer with the company. His Bali trip became more than just a vacation. It became the reason he had to update his LinkedIn. Now to the part you're probably all here for. Do I regret it? Not even a little. The look on his face when the hotel clerk said, "No reservation," that lives in my head rent-free. The way his voice cracked when he realized I was boarding a flight back without him. Priceless. And no, I don't feel bad. This wasn't about money or travel or even revenge. It was about dignity. It was about standing in the middle of years of gaslighting and saying, "Actually, I'm not lucky you stayed. You're lucky I didn't leave sooner." So now I'm focusing on healing. I got a therapist. I deleted every photo of us. I redecorated the apartment. And yes, his hoodie is in the trash. Not even the donation bin. Sorry, not sorry. And for those asking, yeah, I'm planning a real vacation. Solo. With peace. With cocktails. With zero-man children telling me I'm not enough. But don't worry. The story's not over. Because Kyle doesn't know how to stay gone. And what he pulls next? Well, let's just say revenge has a second course. He showed up at my job. No warning, no text, just bam. Kyle, in the lobby, asking the receptionist if he could talk to his girlfriend real quick. His girlfriend. It was 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was in the middle of a client meeting when my coworker burst in, pale as hell, whispering, there's someone downstairs asking for you. Says it's urgent. Kinda loud. I froze. My heart did that thing. Like when you narrowly miss a car accident. That mix of dread and fury. I stepped into the hallway and looked over the railing. There he was. Khakis, sunglasses on indoors, pacing like a lunatic and ranting into his phone, probably to one of his burner numbers. I saw the security guard keeping distance, unsure whether to step in. I walked down slowly. I wasn't going to let him barge into my space. He looked up when he saw me, eyes wide, like he actually thought I'd hug him. I just want to talk, he said. You have 2 minutes. Publicly. His whole body language changed. The fake remorse melted away, and the rage came back. It's like he couldn't hold it together unless he felt superior. You humiliated me, he hissed. I lost my job. Do you even care? This is harassment. You harassed me. People were watching now. Phones out. My manager came to the top of the stairs. Someone whispered, is that the Bali guy? I didn't flinch. You came to my workplace, Kyle. That's harassment. He stepped forward. I lost everything because of you. Don't you get that? My reputation. I cut him off. No, Kyle. You lost everything because you treated someone who loved you like they were disposable. You don't get to play victim just because your consequences showed up. Then I turned to the security guard. I'd like him escorted out. He's not allowed here. Kyle started yelling. Full meltdown. You think this is over? You think this is funny? I'm going to tell everyone what kind of manipulative bitch you really are. The guard stepped in. Kyle flinched, pulled away, but he kept shouting as they walked him outside. You ruined me. You won't get away with this. People clapped. No lie. There was actual applause. My manager said, let me guess. That's Bali guy. I nodded. She said, damn, should have brought popcorn. But I was shaking. I held it together in front of everyone, but in the bathroom I locked the stall door and just sat there, head in my hands, trying to slow my breath. Because I knew this wasn't the end. Not with Kyle. His ego couldn't handle it. And I was right. That night my phone blew up again. Private number. Voicemails. You want to destroy me? I'll give you something to destroy. You think Reddit cares about the truth? Then came the real twist. A video surfaced. Kyle, alone in a hotel room, crying on camera, claiming I was emotionally abusive, saying I stranded him in Bali as a punishment because he wouldn't propose, talking about male victims and how no one believes men when they cry. He tagged influencers. He sent it to local news outlets. He called it revenge porn of the emotional kind. And for a second, I panicked, because he's charming when he wants to be. He knows how to twist narratives, and he looked pathetic in that video. Puffy-eyed, broken, just broken enough to make people feel bad. But then the comments started. And oh, Reddit, you came through. This is the dude from the viral left in Bali thread? Wait, isn't this the guy who called his girlfriend fat on a plane and then got dumped mid-vacation? Sir, you are not the victim. You are the documentary. Every lie he told got fact-checked in real time. Every manipulative tear got memed into oblivion. He tried to smear me, and instead became a punchline. So I made a decision. It was time to go all in. No more hiding, no more fear. I was going to burn down the last bridge and make damn sure he watched it crumble. So you know that saying, don't wrestle with pigs because you both get dirty and the pig likes it? Yeah, screw that. I built a goddamn mudslide. Kyle wanted attention? I gave him the spotlight. He wanted to be a victim? I handed him the script, annotated, footnoted, and backed up with receipts. I didn't post a rebuttal. That would have made it look like we were two sides of the same messy breakup. I made a Google Drive folder titled, For Anyone Who Needs to Know, and I leaked it quietly. Screenshots, voicemails, DMs where he admitted to cheating, audio clips of him calling me a burden with a credit score, photos of the porch trashing incident, the Bali hotel cancellation receipts, the video of him screaming in front of my apartment, throwing a vape pen at my door. It was all there, organized, time-stamped, unfiltered. Then I sent one link, just one, to Sabrina, his ex. She posted it on her Twitter with the caption, "Since Kyle wants to be famous, here's the extended cut. Thanks to the girl who finally said no." And the internet did what the internet does. The thread blew up. 20,000 likes in a day. Reddit cross posts. TikTok reenactments. One girl made a whole monologue from the Bali hotel lobby text and performed it like Shakespeare. But the best part? His family saw it. Remember his sister? The one who texted me confused? She called me again, this time in tears. He told us you were violent, that you cheated, that you left him because you couldn't handle real commitment. Then she whispered, I believed him. I feel so stupid. Turns out Kyle had been the family golden boy forever. Every failed relationship, not his fault. Every job loss, someone sabotaged him. Every lie, a necessary evil. But this time, the evidence was indisputable. His parents called him a disgrace. His cousins unfollowed him. His aunt posted a vague Facebook status that said, sometimes the masks our sons wear crack wide open. And then, the final domino. Kyle's new job offer? Gone? Yup, he'd landed a marketing contract through a friend of a friend. Some trendy startup doing eco-whatever branding. They pulled the offer after someone sent them the link. This isn't the kind of person we align our brand with. No warning, no apology, just evaporated. He posted one last story. Shaky video of himself throwing his laptop into a dumpster. Hope you're all happy. You destroyed my life over a breakup. Nah, Kyle. You destroyed your own life by treating people like props in the movie of your ego. I just finally gave the audience a better angle. That night, I stood on my tiny balcony with a glass of wine, listening to the city hum below. I didn't feel triumphant. Not really. Not like a movie heroine riding off into the sunset. I felt clean, like I'd finally rinsed the last trace of his lies out of my skin. And maybe that's all the revenge I ever really needed. But just wait. I've got one last update. Because Kyle, he doesn't quit. And his next move? It's the most pathetic one yet. Update 2. Okay. So remember how I said Kyle doesn't know how to quit? Like, he physically cannot handle being ignored? Well, buckle up, because this next part is either tragic, hilarious, or both, depending on your level of caffeine and spite. I hadn't heard from him in weeks. After the Bali saga, the job loss, the leaked receipts, the dumpster laptop meltdown, he went radio silent. I thought maybe, finally, he'd crawled back under whatever rock narcissists retreat to when their public image is more scorched than a microwave burrito. I was wrong. One afternoon, I get a knock on my door. Not a text, not a voicemail, a knock. And when I look through the peephole, it's Kyle, standing there, holding a puppy, like some twisted Hallmark movie. He's got this tiny golden retriever in his arms and the most fragile smile I've ever seen on his face. Like he's hoping the dog will do the emotional heavy lifting. He speaks through the door. Hey, I know you probably hate me. I got him for us. For you. I wanted to say sorry. I don't open the door. I don't even speak. He waits a second, then says, his name's Oliver. I figured you'd like that. You always said you wanted a dog, right? That's when I do speak. Through the door, I say, you think you can buy forgiveness with a puppy? Long pause. Then he starts crying, or pretending to. Honestly, by then I couldn't tell the difference. Kyle crying was like his default setting when plan A didn't work. I'm alone. I lost everything. You were right about me. I need help. I want to be better. Then the kicker. Just let me come inside. We don't even have to talk. I don't want to be alone tonight. Oh no. No. You don't get to emotionally nuke my life, weaponize my job, try to ruin my reputation, and then show up like the prodigal boyfriend with a discount therapy dog. I calmly replied, leave the puppy at the shelter. Leave me the hell alone. He stood there a few seconds more, sniffling, trying to will the moment into something romantic, but I didn't open the door. Eventually, he left. I watched from the window as he walked down the block, puppy squirming in his arms, head down like the saddest man in a Nicholas Sparks movie no one asked for. 2 hours later, I got a Venmo request. $400 for Oliver. Since you didn't take him, I declined it with a message. Return him or keep him. Either way, lose my number. That was Kyle's final play. A last, pathetic Hail Mary soaked in puppy breath and desperation. And me? I'm good. Really good. I took the trip I wanted. No drama, no tantrums. Just me, a Kindle, and a hotel bed that no man has ever disrespected. I'm not saying I'm healed, but I'm healing. And for anyone stuck with a Kyle of their own, just know this. You are not lucky they stayed. They are lucky you even let them in the damn room. So I wasn't going to dig anymore, truly. I had my closure, my peace, my puppy-free home. But the thing about toxic men, they're like cockroaches. You think they're gone, and then boom, there they are again, except now they're wearing a new costume and calling it growth. Guess what popped up on my For You page one sleepy Sunday morning? A video titled, How to Heal from Betrayal, My Story, starring none other than Kyle. Shirt half unbuttoned, holding a coffee mug like it's a TED Talk, standing in front of a bookshelf filled with fake leather-bound books he definitely never read. I was at my lowest, he begins. Abandoned, humiliated, left overseas with no warning, but I rose from that pain. He talks about surviving emotional abuse, how he learned to set boundaries, and how, Some women will destroy you just to feel powerful. Then he drops this gem. I used to think love was sacrifice, but now I know. Love doesn't cancel your vacation mid-flight. That's when I lost it. I laughed so hard I choked on my tea. Then I scrolled through the comments and realized something truly unhinged. People were buying it. His little TikTok page had thousands of followers. All his videos were about male emotional vulnerability, narcissistic exes, and how to reclaim your masculinity. He was selling self-help courses, $89.99 for a 2-hour Zoom webinar called The Alpha Reset. I wish I were making that up. One of his promo posts even had a quote card. The woman who left me gave me the greatest gift, myself. Kyle Matthews, life coach. I had to check. Had to be sure. So I made a burner account and signed up for the free preview session. Don't judge me. Curiosity is its own drug. It was worse than I expected. He used our breakup as a case study, left out the cheating, the emotional abuse, the Bali blow-up, but kept all the drama. Told the group I faked an anniversary trip, then stranded him as punishment for being too honest. Too honest? You mean calling me lucky he's still here like I was a dented can of beans on the clearance shelf? One woman in the chat typed, "Ugh, I've been through that too. You deserve better." I wanted to scream through the screen. I'm the one who paid for his damn better, but I didn't. Because the truth? I didn't need to fight him anymore. He was fighting himself in real time, desperately trying to rebrand his failures as wisdom. I just screenshotted everything. And then, like the petty, healed, emotionally hydrated woman I am, I forwarded it all to his ex, Sabrina. 10 minutes later, she posted her own video, calm, collected, holding her coffee like a loaded weapon. Hey ladies, if your ex is trying to sell healing while peddling lies about women who left him, just know he's still the same guy who fake cried over a puppy to get back into someone's apartment. Ask me how I know. It got more views than Kyle's original. Her followers doubled overnight. Meanwhile, Kyle's page, comments disabled. Course links broken. Last post timestamped at 3:07 a.m. and just says, taking time to reflect. Be kind. Translation. He got called out, and now he's spiraling. Again. And me? I'm just here sipping wine, watching it all unfold like a reality show I didn't even have to pay for. It came in at 2:11 a.m., a message request from an account named at Healing with Kyle Coaching 2, his backup, I guess, after Sabrina nuked the first one into orbit. The message just said, she still doesn't know, lol. I used the Bali money for the crypto thing. Trip was a decoy. I sat there, phone glowing in the dark, rereading it 5 times. She still doesn't know. I blinked. The message wasn't meant for me. He thought he was texting one of his little echo chamber buddies. Maybe someone from his coaching crew. Maybe just another ex he hadn't burned through yet. But nope, he'd sent it to me, because even his burner accounts are dumb enough to autocomplete names. And just like that, the last missing piece clicked into place. The weird urgency he had back then. How he suddenly pushed for us to go on the trip earlier. How he kept saying, book it all under your name, babe, it's easier. The vague conversations I overheard about investing and getting in early. He used my Bali trip as a cover, took the refund money I didn't know he'd claimed, on top of what I paid, and dumped it into some doomed crypto project, probably another NFT with a wolf in sunglasses, and he thought I'd never find out. So I did what anyone would do. I screenshotted it, all of it, his message, the crypto wallet link I found on one of his old Reddit threads, the desperate post he made begging for tips on how to get out of a rug pull scam. And then, I made one final post, on my real account, public. It was just a carousel of receipts. Slide 1, the hotel cancellation from Bali. Slide 2, his puppy stunt Venmo. Slide 3, his she doesn't know DM. Slide 4, his Reddit post begging for financial help because his girl sabotaged his career. Caption? Simple. Turns out the vacation wasn't the betrayal. The betrayal paid for the vacation. It exploded. My DMs were flooded with stories from other women he'd done similar things to, using their credit, their time, their trust like free Wi-Fi until it stopped working. And one girl? She dated him in college and said he once faked having mono to avoid breaking up in person. Classic. His TikTok? Gone. Website? Deleted. That coaching page? Disabled for policy violations. The last message I ever got from him came 2 days later. No burner. Just straight from his real number. You win. Happy? No, Kyle. I didn't win, because this was never a game. You lost me long before Bali. You lost me the day you looked me in the eye and said, no one else wants you. Turns out, everyone wanted me. Friends, strangers, my own damn self. What no one wants is you. And that's it. No sequel, no comeback, no redemption arc. Just me, free, unbothered, gloriously alone on a solo trip next month. Same destination, new hotel, No name on the reservation but mine, and every time I walk past a couple fighting in an airport, I'll smile. Because somewhere out there, Kyle's probably still trying to book a room with bad credit and no backup. And I sleep so good, in clean sheets, on my own damn terms.